Okay, back into recording. All right, I might have to speak up a little bit. Larry, I know through networking, very nice guy, very laid back. I've noticed that, and that's an admirable quality that I do not have. But what do we put in our body, man? I learned in school about all the stuff and the artificial chemicals and this and that, the manufactured stuff can be toxic. I never would have thought of it before school, but it's important. Larry works with Kangen water. Very nice guy. Like I said, I'm kind of jealous of his easygoingness. And but we'll start with the basic questions: who, what, when, where, why, how. See where it goes. So, who are you?
My name's Larry Snyder, and I'm based out of Kansas City here. And I found this awesome company back in 2008, and I was like everybody else. I owned three businesses when I found this. I owned a car body shop, I owned an auction service, and I had a painting remodeling business. And I was at a lunch and networking group, and the guy comes in and says, I give water away for health. So I said, I'm looking for time freedom. So let me see what you got. So I took the DVD that he handed me and went home and looked at it and didn't believe it. So I went over and to his place and looked at the machine and drank 4 or 5 glasses of it and felt it. So I bought a machine, and 2 weeks later I sold all three businesses, and here I am. I went all in, and it's just it's been quite the ride for us. It's a learning process, but it's really it's changed our life. Not only just about the water, but just the mindset that this company teaches you about taking care of yourself. Physically, mentally, and financially and spiritually. They teach you to be in the driver's seat of your life, and that's what's really cool with this.
Okay. So, what exactly is Kangen?
Kangen is just a Japanese word for putting your body back to homeostasis. The company's called Enagic, the Kangen Water Company, and it's the type of water. It's alkalized water. There's a difference between alkaline and alkalized. Alkaline is a chemical change. They put lye, they put all kinds of chemicals in it to get it to the alkaline state, so it's not rusting the pipes. But alkalized is electricity change, based change. There is no chemicals in it, so it makes it to me back to living water again. Our bodies, we're a big energy source, so it's electrolyzed charged water. We call it active hydrogen, so it put oxygen and electricity back to it to make it living water again. Very, very healthy.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
What our body needs. You kind of mentioned how you got into it, but what made you stay with this company so long?
It's just the time freedom, and it's the potential with it. That's really cool. It's unlimited what you can do. Everybody has water. That is something that really uh, made me realize. I actually have something that I can help everybody on the planet. Everybody drinks it or uses some form of it on a daily basis. So, um, it's relatively an easy product to talk about because everybody should be educated because you use it daily.
Yeah, I remember when I went back to school for nutrition and learning about some of the stuff, the big learning, and I never would have thought of the water is when I had to take cooking classes, and I remember thinking, I'm like, why do I have to learn this stuff, about how to cook, but what's in about the ingredients and the way things are done. If you think you're getting healthy at a restaurant, you're not. But it blew my mind. And then even still, I never would have thought about the water, the quality of the water we drink. It's really amazing. And I know from my own personal experience outside of school, what happened when I put good products into my body. I lost all that weight, and it blew my mind. I didn't even know a dietitian existed until I saw one. My doctor said I had to see one. But what we put in our body made a big difference. And now every day, and you hear about the polluted water or the companies do and they poison it. We need products like this. I'm not sure I really have to go into the why. It's kind of been answered already. Um, but how does it work? How does Kangen, like, how do they, do you sell to private customers? Do you sell to plumbers? Like, how does that work?
It's we don't sell it. It's a machine you buy. You know, the water's relatively free. You can't bottle alkalized water because air, light, and movement affects the structure of the water. Being electricity, the energy only stays in it for so long, and then it goes back to neutral water. So you can't ration alkalized water. You can't bottle it. Most bottles of water are a year old before you open it up. There's a born date on it. If you really look into it, you start researching it on bottled water. They've set on the docks, they've set in the warehouses. God knows where else it's been setting at. And you can't keep this, or you shouldn't, because there is no chlorine and stuff in it to kill the bacteria. So after a while, it's acceptable to bacteria. This is designed to drink right out of the spigot, or within 1 day of taking it out of the machine. So, and it looks like a coffee machine. It some of our models talk to you. It makes 7 different pHs of water, so it's got 3 different drinking levels. It's got a clean water for people who are on time release meds. It's got a beauty water, which is the same pH as our skin. Then it makes a high alkaline water that emulsifies grease, 11.5 pH water that we use for cleaning our groceries, our laundry, any cleaning products, anything you want to clean, this is great on. And then it makes a 2.5 disinfectant, which is stronger than Clorox. So, to me, it's a whole healthcare package.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I'm learning a lot through some of the Zoom meetings we're on together
Yeah.
about some of these companies that you wouldn't have normally heard of, at least, because I'm in the nutrition field. But like even just the quality of the products. Like I was getting my vitamins from a big, I won't say the name of it, so there's no problems, place, and really, saw how much I'm actually absorbing. And it's the same thing with the water. It's you think you're doing something good for yourself by drinking a lot of water in this case, and it could be doing something to you, and your body is a big one. I'm sorry, not your body. Your digestive tract is a big line of defense because you're taking stuff. And we learned about this in the nutrition. Well, one of the nutrition classes to learn about it in anatomy and physiology. How much of your immune system is in your gut because you're taking things from outside your body and putting it in. And that's why it's acids and all that stuff. Um, why have you stayed with the company so long?
Oh, it's just it's unlimited to potential. Like I said, it's just it's something that you know once you get involved with the company, you're active all the time. It's an easy product to share. It's not a hard sale because it's all education. You don't get a lot of no's because it's something that you got to take care of yourself. Here's an option that'll give you financial benefits, health benefits, and that peace of mind. I look at all areas of it. You know, the health side of it. You know, everybody has a system. If you use it and maintain the machine, it's going to last you a lifetime. The benefits of it are phenomenal. It's about, if you eliminate toxic chemicals, your health is going to change. There's no way around it. So, you know, it, there is no quick fix, and there's nothing that, water don't cure, diagnose, or treat anything. It when you eliminate the toxic chemicals, it gives your body a chance to heal itself. The body's very powerful. It can heal itself, but don't make it work so hard by putting all this toxic stuff in it all the time.
Yeah.
I tell everybody to go to miracleswithwater.com and watch the videos. It's all education. No, nothing, no no buy-in, nothing. It's just strictly education, and see for yourself. You either get it or you don't. That's how I kind of look at it. Something that I love about the machine too, it's portable. So if we travel, we unscrew it from the faucet, we put it in a suitcase or a backpack, carry it on the airplane, and we hook it up wherever we're at. So we're never away from it. So
Well,
it doesn't cost us. It's not a product. Once you buy it, it's no different buying a refrigerator or TV. It's not a whole house unit too. It's strictly for health. So it's just very beneficial. And it's, again, I love the reason I'm staying around, because everybody has it. We're not selling products that you got to go out there and spend $200 and $300 to stay in the company a month, and the auto ships and all this. That's something I really love about it. Plus I can give my samples away. Water's next to free, and you can give free samples home, and send home with people. Let them test it themselves. Let them feel it and make a decision if it works for them or not.
well, you just brought something up, the machines. That was going to be my next question. What is the machine like? Is it like one of those? Like, do you attach it to the faucet?
Got a diverter valve that hooks to the kitchen faucet. Look, it's about the same size as the coffee machine. It's a medical grade product. It's got medical grade qualities to it. They don't cut shortcuts with it. We're the only original equipment manufacturing company out there. So one technician builds the machine from start to finish, not on an assembly line. They warranty it's got a 5 year, up to 5 year, 3 to 5 year bumper to bumper warranty on it. You maintain them, they last forever. That's how high quality these machines are.
Pretty insane. So how long has this company been around?
1974, it was brought in the United States. It's a Japanese company. It was brought into the United States in 2003 in Japanese language, and they didn't really start getting the English language until about 2006. And then I come on board in 2008. So it'd been around a couple of years before I found out about it. Gosh darn it. I wish I would have found out about it in 2003 too.
What you said it pretty much sells itself, but who are your clients? So
I like husband and wives. I work with realtors and mortgage people, and it's about having conversation with everybody. There's real, my target market is people that everybody should be educated, and that's what we are. We're educators. We don't sell anything. We educate. It's your responsibility to take care of your health. I'm going to educate you how to eliminate the toxic chemicals. If that's important to you, this is a great option for you.
well, you're bringing something up. What you're sharing good, and now it's in my head for the third time. Um, is that doctors are a last resort. I had this realization recently. It was through one of those LinkedIn posting parties, like 2, 3 months ago. The doctors are a last resort. This country, we need doctors. There's no doubt about it. I've had surgeries. I've had a heart problem, and so, but doctors are a last resort. And I firmly believe that it's up to us. The problem is not necessarily the healthcare system. I'm not going to tell you it's perfect, but it's up to us. The doctor is the last resort, not just take a pill and that's it. You're taking insulin the rest of your life. That's that real, and I lived through it a long time ago, but just had this realization 3 months ago. And how much my own life changed when I lost all that weight. Everything went away. The responsibility is up to us. We see remember learning in school about the obesity rates, and I don't remember the exact numbers, of, okay, so say it was America in the 70s, say 1970, and map of America of, okay, how many states are obese, where are the highest, you know, rates of obesity, and then in 1980, I think of like a Verizon commercial or an AT&T, how much of the country is covered by Verizon and AT&T. And now they're pretty much the whole country for both of them. And okay, so from 1970, the obesity, there's a dot here, there's a dot here, there's a dot there. 1980 is a little bit heavier. 90, all of a sudden the country is turning from white to red with all the dots. 2000 and up to, well, this was in 2000. The last class I took like that was 2014. And every one of us is the obesity rates in this country. But the point, the point is that everyone says, "Oh, our healthcare system, our healthcare system." No, no, yeah, it serves a purpose. Like we need health insurance, we're going to break our leg and whatever else it is, and we need to take care of our health. But the responsibility is ours. It's not up to the insurance companies to make sure we stay healthy. It's up to us. And I remember 2003. I worked at a big name life insurance company. I was working in New York City, and how they rate the applicants. People apply for life insurance, and do you smoke? Your rates go up. Do you go skydiving every weekend? Your rates go up. Do you drink? Your rates go up. Do you go rock climbing 3 days a week? And your rates go up because those are risky behaviors. Now, my own private thought has always been, what if they did that with a health insurance company? I think that's to a point, because sometimes we're born with something or whatever it is, to find that balance. But it's really up to us. If we took care of our health, how quickly our rates would go back down.
Mm-hmm. Well, just like you said, it's not the doctor's responsibility to keep you healthy. It's your responsibility, and it's the thing that we're learning though is if your body's out of whack, if you're sick, even something as simple as headaches and stuff, it's an acid alkaline imbalance. You're too acidic, so you need to. And again, that's a toxic waste dump that we're taking in all the time. It's amazing just the little bit that you do, and it, like you said, it takes everything. You got to have stress release, you got to have sunshine, you got to have good nutrition, you got to have water, you got to have sleep at all. There's no quick fix on any of it. The doctors and other naturopaths, they're not having hours and hours and hours of training on nutrition. you know they know how to give you meds. This med works for this issue, that issue, and all that, but they don't realize, sometimes maybe it is simple. And I'm not a doctor, I'm trial and error on a daily basis, but I'm hearing, I work with personal trainers all the time, and I think the biggest key thing that people are missing is the water. And I'm yet to understand how most of these health people are out here selling supplements and doing all this. And I know this is probably bad to say, but the biggest thing they miss is the water that they're having their clients drink. Most of them are drinking reverse osmosis, which is bottled water. There's no benefits whatsoever health-wise in it, because that's called dead water. There is nothing. Our bodies have to have minerals to survive, and you're depleting your system. Plus, we're 75% water, and they say in the United States most people are chronically dehydrated. When you hydrate yourself, it's amazing how the body can fix itself.
Yeah, yeah. I remember again learning through the 5 years I was back in school for nutrition, that our brain, how much of it is made of water? I
I
don't
think
know.
it's 90%.
Yeah,
I don't get so technical with all that stuff. We're 75% water. Our blood's water, our brain's water, our muscles. You know, I mean, every cell in our body is usually made up with water. And you know, it's something that I've realized too. Oxygen doesn't even work without hydration. You know, if you're not hydrated, for your cells and all that to be moving, oxygen, you know, it can't work because if you're locked up and can't move, you know,
Yeah.
so it's pretty important to be hydrated.
So, how do I word this next question? So you can it gets installed like it. I'm imagining like a one of those things you put on the sink, like a Brita kind of thing, and you flip it to go from regular water to filtered water. What does it look like?
It's still, we have an ORP meter, which is oxidation reduction potential. If it's a positive charge or a negative charge water, it filters out. I don't know what it filters out, but it doesn't put the electricity charge into it to make it a living, healthy water. Like our tap water, 7.0 water, neutral water. But this machine, it puts electricity in the water, so it makes it a negative. Renowned green tea and vitamin C is about a negative 100. Here in Olathe, with our ORP meter, our machine will do a negative 800, 850, sometimes negative 800, 850, negative 900. So it's more beneficial than eating supplements, which I'm not telling you not to eat supplements. You got to have that, but it's just, that's how beneficial it is. They're
Yeah,
saying one glass of our 9.5, and this is just what I've read about it. It's more beneficial than taking supplements, because one glass of 9.5, you got to eat 2.5 pounds of blueberries or 11.2 pounds of broccoli to get the same antioxidant benefits out of that. And I'd much rather drink one glass of 9.5 pH water than eating 11.2. I like broccoli, but my God, I can't imagine eating 11 pounds of it.
I'll have broccoli.
Yeah.
Um, do this all the time.
It's just simple. You know, it's just a simple system to use on a daily basis. There's no thinking to it. You know, we all get in a routine. You know, fitness people, they go to the gym every day. You know, they eat a certain way. You know, to me, this is routine. I get up every morning and drink 64 ounces of water the minute I get up. Within within 5 minutes of getting up, I'm hydrating myself. I drink 3 to 4 gallons. That's all I drink anymore is water, other than our Ukon turmeric tea. And
Don't go there with you. There we go.
but it's just amazing. And I'm a big guy. You know, naturally I'm a beast because, if I went by the doctor's charts, uh, to be normal where I'm at, I'd need to weigh 155 pounds, and I haven't weighed that since sophomore high school, and that's 100 years ago. So,
Yeah, and something that I don't think people know, and I certainly didn't know before school, was, and it was said on the nutrition side about the vitamins and minerals we take in, not with the fat, carbs, and protein. Um, but when you see on a label, like it could be a vitamin label that you got it from whatever store, or it could be when you go to the grocery store and you buy the foods that they're required to have the nutrition facts on clearly
mhm.
printed on um, the box or whatever it is. And but the 100% with the other stuff, not the fat, carbs, and protein, the micronutrients, 100% for most of them is the minimum. There can be, not that there can be 4 exceptions. There are 4 that get stored with fat. You have to take it with a little bit of fat, and they get stored with fat. to be digested, to ideal. Um, but, and I'm going to go back to the water, is that when you say like, okay, it got 2% of vitamin A and 10% of vitamin E, that's based on a general formula that is not based on any specific person. We are different people. You know, Hulk Hogan, when he was wrestling, may have needed a hell of a lot more calories than I do. And,
Hmm.
he's Hulk Hogan, he's close to 7 feet tall. He's somewhere around 7 feet, or he's like 6'10". Very big guy. His nutrient needs are not the same as mine, and mine are not the same as yours. The 100%, as far as the micronutrients, is the minimum. So, and most of us are not getting 100%. We don't, based on our genetics, we don't absorb 100%. But 100, like you brought up the 64 ounces of water. That is the minimum. That's to keep you where you're at. If you want to improve, you have to then go above and beyond that. You can't go running a marathon and say, well, I had my 64 ounces of water. You run a marathon, you certainly as hell, you're going to know why, even if I don't ever plan on running a marathon, I never run a day in my life to know, but you're going to sweat while you got mail. My email went off. To know that you need to drink water. If you go to the gym, or we learned about how important water is in um, temperature regulation, especially if you live in colder climates. The body needs it to heat up, to warm it, to get it 98.6. And we're not drinking that. That's like eight cups, which is 64 ounces, is the minimum.
Well, they say if you're going to just maintain your health, just to maintain your health is a half a half ounce per body weight. And I tell people to drink 1 ounce per pound. So, you know, most people don't weigh 64 pounds. So, nobody's getting enough water in them. And I was looking into my thing. You said, here's something that I've found. It's our blood is 83% water. Our kidneys is 83% water. Our liver is 86% water. The brain is 74.5%. Your muscles are 76% water. Bones are 22%. Fat is 20% water. Your skin is 70% water. And your connective tissue is 60% water. So, that just shows you how much our systems are made up of water. And again, the sad thing is most waters that we drink are oxidizing and rusting our bodies.
Yeah.
Most of our bottled waters are straight at, very, very acidic on the pH chart. It's shocking of the caliber of waters that most people are drinking. And you think you're getting the benefits. Buying alkaline water in the stores, you're paying $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $12 a case. All you're really doing is buying the plastic bottles to throw in the landfills.
Well, I have another issue with that. I'm a big on recycling. I learned about that too. But there was something that just entered my head and left. Oh, the plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything about the plastic bottles? Like I have call me guilty. I'm holding the plastic bottle.
They say they're made with formaldehyde, and that's been told. And I don't get so technical. I don't know for sure, but this is all hearsay. But they say if you in the summertime, if you let your bottled water sit out in your car and it reaches 86 degrees, you might as well drink formaldehyde. And that, who knows? But I know plastic. That's how they form it, is with formaldehyde. It's or whatever that forms the plastic bottles, and it leaches in. Yeah, but from what I've seen on the pH chart, I don't want no part of it.
Well, that's
wouldn't.
what I was
It's
about
not
to say.
worth purchasing bottled water.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. Is that the the plastic, it leaches into the water.
Mhm.
It slowly starts,
Well,
you don't see it, the bottle starts to break down, but it starts to leach into the water.
mhm. But the same way with our laundry soap, it's an oil-based product. It's got formaldehyde in it that, you know, which is oil-based. Water and oil don't mix, so you can't separate that. So the washing machine doesn't get all the soap out of your clothes. So when you're outside sweating, you know, you're still fighting toxins. You know, and it's been really amazing to us with our 11.5 pH water. You take a towel out of your closet that you've been washing in normal laundry detergent and just hand agitate it, and it's amazing how much soap stays in your clothes.
I
But
never,
the 11.5 is going to be able to get out and stay out once you start using it on a daily, monthly, yearly basis. So,
well, you're making me think about something. You're mentioning with the laundry detergent that through the networking things we do, you know, I've been contacted by a couple of companies about working with them for, like, they're not, I do firmly believe in the vitamin shop. Very good. Could there things, could there be things in that they have that could be better? I'm sure. I'm sure they're not perfect. I, but two other companies, I'm not going to say their names because I just don't know what's going on with it yet. Um, and I remember learning from somebody. I worked at a gym many years ago. It was when I first, well, I lost all the weight and I got it. My muscles were definitely bigger back then. Um, you mentioned the company that talked, and I remember learning, and I've been contacted by, and I've been in touch with her not often, but recently on Facebook about these alternative companies, the things we don't hear about, other places than the vitamin shop and the over the counter stuff at like CVS. They sell vitamins. The Walgreens, they have it too. Um, but alternative stuff, there are other companies, I'm just not going to say because I don't know what's going on yet, but that are so much better than, basically we need to think outside the box, then get it going over to the local grocery store and getting just buying those name brand or well, they don't have to be name brand, the laundry detergents and things like that. You were just talking about the petroleum and the stuff we're putting on our body, how important it is. Like the there are other ways, like with and I believe because I've had my own experiences, not you don't have to go with what society says.
mhm.
You don't have to trust the water company and we've on our networking events. I don't know if you've seen, I've seen them a lot. Is like people selling solar because
Mhm.
electricity, what it does. Not that I don't think it's bad at all, but how much better solar is and to do things naturally makes a big difference. When I lost all that weight, it was diabetes. I was pushing diabetes, liver, gout, this, that, and the other thing. And how much of it went away by taking care of my health. And my parents would remember this, and my sister too, that how much almost everything went away.
Mm.
There are two things that one is got to be genetic, and the other we are not sure how it happened. Um,
I don't know if everything is genetic, though. I mean, when you stop to think about it, you know, when you come out as a baby, you're 100% alkaline, and then you start, you getting into French fries and all the stuff. You start to be acidic, and then all of a sudden, there's an acid alkaline imbalance to where it starts supposedly in the gut. But just like you're saying with the nutrition stuff, they say, and this is, again, I don't research it enough to be able to say it other than just hearsays. Less than 4% of the supplement companies out there actually have the ingredients that's stated on the jugs. or bottles or whatever you have in it. Less than 4% of the companies there actually have the ingredients that what they say is on the bottles.
Now that's something the first time I'm hearing
Yeah.
that.
And this was told by a person that formulates their own supplement line that's taking it to the extremes to have what genuine what's in it. But and they've done enough research on it. I don't spend that much time on it myself.
Yeah, there are alternate companies that besides the like again, I like the vitamin shop over the other one.
Mm-hmm.
I do for the most part they do sell some, but they're good stuff. But it's about thinking outside of the box especially
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to our health. You know, like my doctor in New York. Um, I hope my mother doesn't mind me sharing the story, but stage 0 breast cancer many years ago, and marijuana is in no way legal in New York. And my doctor he's the one who told me to see a nutritionist, lose weight, and get off the pills, the prescriptions. He did not want to prescribe me. I think he's like that with everybody. But he told my mother with she got at stage 0. Like I didn't even know that existed. So like must have just happened. Um, how marijuana. Don't take
Mm-hmm.
the chemo, and well, I think she did have to take it. I got a little bit of chemo, but he's the one who says, you know, CBD. I don't know if he told her to smoke anything, but how much better that is coming from a doctor to not take the pills but go to the alternate route. We need to educate people about this stuff.
I don't think in the United States that we're all about health. I think we're on the sick care management, and it's we don't have. You got to be careful how you state all this, but there's products out there that work that they're not allowed to be able to operate because it's to me it's taking the money side away from
Oh,
some of these
oh
companies,
yeah,
and so I shouldn't be saying that, but that's the way. I mean, it's true. I know a couple people that have had something as simple as herbs uh, get totally shut down because uh, the greed of it. They want a piece of the pie, and that's to me that's what it is here in the United States. It's all about money.
it's about
It's about we're not going to cure it. We're just going to keep it handled to where it's not giving you any trouble for this week or next week. But you know,
but like we need doctors. Like I had a heart surgery, and but and that was after I lost the weight. Um, but my doctor, um, when I first had to lose the weight, he had to put he had to give cholesterol lowering medication. And then I went, he sent me to a nutritionist, and I said, he did the same thing with my mother, telling her about marijuana and the cancer. He goes, I don't want to put you on any of the cholesterol meds. And he was like, I'm telling you, as soon as your cholesterol is low enough, I'm taking you off. And by eating healthy, by doing the treadmill every day, I went to the doctor. It was December 1st. It was my birthday. That's how I remember. Um, the cardiologist, before I moved to where I live now, I have to see other doctors because that's a little too far. But the cardiologist and the regular doctor were in the same building. And I had seen the cardiologist mid-November. No, I'm sorry. I saw the regular doctor mid-November, and then I saw cardiologist December 1st. It was my birthday. And then I had to go, based on the laws in Florida, I had to go 3 times for the same test result. Um, and when I went back, I don't know if it was the second or third time, They had taken blood. If they always, well, they probably do it with everybody, but I know with the heart problem, they want to see cholesterol and whatever else. And some of the issues I have, they want to see the liver, and that kind of gives it away what my issue is. But they do it, and it depends. Your body is going to be different, and his body, or you know, it depends on the situation. But through doing right, and my weight's a little up at the moment, to be honest, but I could lose a few more pounds. But total cholesterol for a heart patient was 100. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how was that possible? You know, it's coming from a nutritionist. I'm like, no, that's too low. You didn't do that right. Because, and that's from, and the only reason that I lived through that heart attack, I was 32 years old. It was congestive heart failure. It wasn't a heart attack. It's just easier to say. Um, had to have a valve replaced, and they said the only reason I lived was because I lost all that weight, because my cholesterol is now not that it comes easy. I have to watch what I eat, but my cholesterol now it's at 100. I'm sure it was a little higher then, but if I hadn't lost all that weight and started watching what I put in my body, I would have been dead at 32. I don't remember which doctor it was. He said, I would think it was the regular doctor, because I knew him better than the surgeon was once. I saw him 2 or 3 times, and once before the surgery, once after surgery, and then I think once or twice after. That's because of what we put in our body. He said you would have been dead at 32.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's important. That's what, and I wouldn't think of the water either. To be honest, I wouldn't have thought of the water. But it's meeting you that I hear about it every day, every morning, or however many mornings a week, to learn about this stuff.
You know, for me, knock on wood and thank God, you know, I haven't really been sick all, you know, sure I was getting normal flus and stuff like that, but you know, knock on wood, not again, it's not doesn't treat, cure, diagnose anything, but you just don't get sick anymore, and it's hard to explain that, you know. So there's got to be something to it, because you know we don't have the headaches, we don't have the sniffles, the sneezes, and all that stuff, and it seems like if you do get it, it's short lived, but um, you know, it's just I feel very grateful because we just don't get sick.
Wow.
You know, it's not, we don't have those issues that we know of. You know, we're always energized, and it's you just don't have the problems like I used to have. You know, I'd always get sick for a week or two going into from summer into winter. But when it starts getting cold, you could just might as well plan it out. It's like a vacation. Okay. When it starts going 50, you know, one day you're 60 degree, the next day it's 10, 50 the next day. I mean, that roller coaster, I would always seem to get sick for a while. And since I've been drinking lots of water here, I don't have those issues anymore. So there's got to be something to it.
Well, you said something before also that has me thinking now. Um, this what I'm going to say is not going to be 100% accurate in 100% of the situation, but you know, basic stuff for our body. A lot of sickness starts in the mind too. And my
Yeah.
mother had pointed. I moved down to Florida January a year ago, and she pointed out, and because there are other things with it. Haven't had a migraine since I used to get terrible migraines, terrible. But that's going to lead to. We learned many years after I first started getting them that it wasn't necessarily, again, my mother's observation, that it's not necessarily a physical problem, it was a mental problem,
Mm-hmm.
anxiety. She pointed that out when I went back to school for nutrition. And how much, if we can change our minds and become aware of what we're doing, how much of our body will heal. And I have to do that. I'm not the most mentally perfect, I'm far from it. Doing the right thing and you know, and taking care of what we got to do. But and which again leads me into, it's not the healthcare industry's responsibility to make sure we're healthy. It's about hearing like Kangen water and things like that. And
Like you said, I think it has a lot to do with the mind, though, too. If you worry about it and think about it all the time, naturally you're going to get sick. You know, it's one of those things that's I'm going to do whatever I need to do to stay as healthy as I can, and whatever and I say do whatever works for you. I look at it. If if you're fighting weight issues and stuff, you know, it's not rocket science. Stop put stop eating so much. You know, put fix your plate and take half of it away. You
yeah,
know, eat better. I mean, it's not rocket science here. It's you got to be dedicated to want to make that change. I don't look for sick people. I look for people that want to be on the proactive side, do what they can to eliminate it down the road. It's there's nothing out there, and I don't care medicines, supplements, water, whatever it is. There's no quick fix. You didn't get that way overnight, and you're not going to get fixed. And it's sad to think a lot of people wait until stage 4 and they have big troubles before they want to get really, really serious about fixing the problem. And then at that point, it's too late. But,
yeah.
it's a lot easier to be on the proactive side than the reactive after the fact. And this is my own personal, thoughts and all this, but we don't have health care in the United States. It's sick care management.
Yeah.
It's after the fact. And, again, it's my opinion that it doesn't mean a hill of beans, but, it's something you got to take on your own responsibility. The meds and all that stuff, you got to do whatever you can because I see a lot of meds that don't work, because we're going to try this, and if this doesn't work, we got 3 other types of meds that we can try. So that's not a cure-all either. So
You just made me think of something too. This goes back to the water. Is people flush their medications down the toilet, literally down the toilet, and it gets into our water supply.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, I tell everybody, go out to your water municipality. They'll have a public page. Ours here in Olathe, on our rural water number 2 district, rural water public page says, if you're young, old, or fighting an immune system, consult your physician before you drink our tap water.
Oh my God.
So take it for what that is, but it states it right on it. Young, old, or fighting an immune system, you might want to consult your physician before you drink the tap water. We've got lye, we've got chlorine, we've got all stuff in it. And just by doing our little demonstrations with our ORP meter, our tap water could be a positive 200 or 300 in the morning, and in the afternoon, depends on what chemicals they're pushing through, that day. It could be positive 200 or 300, 250 in the morning, and it could be a positive 400 in the afternoon. So they're pumping a lot more, products through so they don't rust the pipes, pushing the water through town. They have to put lye in it to get it so it'll be alkaline, so it's not rusting pipes. And I don't think we want that stuff in our system. It's even chlorine. It's shocking how much chlorine's in the water, but it's safe. Don't worry about it. And again, everybody needs to educate themselves on it. To me, I tell you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force them to drink it. Same with meds. You can pump out the meds and tell them to take this, this, and this, and that's a choice.
I think I'm running out of questions. I'm running out of things.
You just have to be really cautious on talking on these subjects, because It doesn't treat, diagnose, or cure anything. And no, neither one of us are doctors. So it's
No,
just,
we're not doctors.
to me, this is just a conversation. And, it's just, to me, it's just something to think about, again, like I tell people, go to the website, miracleswithwater.com, and watch the short videos, and see if that, see what you believe with it.
Yeah.
It's eye opening. I mean, that's what I saw when I first saw this. And, it's funny how your foods the water tastes better. The foods taste different. They last longer, our, all aspects of it. Our clothes last longer. They don't fade. Um, so we get a longer lifespan out of our clothes. There's just so you could go on and on about the benefits. It's just, just you got to take it upon yourself to educate yourself.
Yeah.
It's a life choice. It changes lives when you put it in for the long haul. So.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing.
It's,
Glad you brought that up, that we're not doctors too. I tell people whenever I put a video on YouTube, I'm like, let's see your doctor before anything, and then,
I tell people, especially with our technology, it's really doesn't cost you anything to put it in place and use it, because most of us are already spending it. Laundry detergent, dishwashing soaps, 409s, comets, lotions, uh, just all kinds of products, bottled waters, all this stuff that we don't buy all that stuff. So, in the 13 years, it's paid for itself time after time after time. There's tax benefits. There's a lot of benefits to it. And to me, long term, it's the best healthcare policy out there, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah,
So
agreed. Definitely agreed.
but it's a great option to start your health process.
Yeah, so I think I'm running out of steam a little bit. So whatever you want to do.
To me, it's just a fun conversation, because it's endless options what you can do. You can choose to work on your health, choose to not to do it. It's totally in your control. And it's just I think myself, it's the most important substance on the planet that most people miss. They don't. That's where I wish everybody that's thinking about health would start. And that's what they should do, is start with the water you're drinking. Start on that first, because your supplements work better. You said even yourself, most supplements only work 25 to 45% effectiveness because of the water that you try to take them with. I tell people the tap water is like, our cells is like a chain link fence, and the tap water you're drinking is about the size of a baseball. What this does, this goes through its process, breaks the water molecules apart from the positive to the negative, and it breaks it down to marble size, so it gets out and hydrates every cell of the body. So it's just not going into your stomach and then leaving the body. So, it actually gets in and it hydrates all the cells. And again, it's all education, and I tell everybody, go try it. There's nothing to lose with it. It's a win situation.
It's good to know. So,
Drink up and enjoy it. It's
right, you said
pretty simple. Yeah, it's just pretty simple process. Drink it.
Yes, okay. Miracleswithwater.com, is that what you said?
Yeah, miracleswithwater.com.
Right.
It's a fun education.
All right.
The cool thing with it too, it's for the whole family. Let the kids watch it too. The pH drops changes the water, and they get tickled, and they said, what color waters do we have? You know, all our grandkids, they got their own water bottles that they take to school and run around with, and we drink purple water because when you put your pH drops in our 9.5, it's very alkaline, so it turns it purple, and they get a kick out of that. Yeah, kids are great little advertisers for it. They're fun.
Yeah, I have two. Well, I have six little cousins, and they're all, four of them are well adults. The youngest of, and then there's two. I still call them my little ones. They're sick. They're gonna be 17 in 3 months.
Yeah, kids are the best.
They're the best.
You got to take care. You just take care of the family. That's our company's motto is, spread true health with compassion, one family at a time. That's what it's all about. It's just building those relationships and helping each other prosper, be the best we can be, and that's something that I really love about this company. They're true to that.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
Good companies out there.
Be the best you can be. Yeah.
All right.
So, well, thank you for having me on. I've really enjoyed it. And
hopefully we got it right the second time.
Oh yeah. All about fun. Trial and error.
I'll probably wind up sending this to you tomorrow.